Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Faces and Heels, your podcast for professional wrestling here on the KB Radio Network. I am your wonderful host, Kevin Reed, and today we are previewing the upcoming WWE Premium Live event, SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer, which will take place in Cleveland, Ohio. And this is basically WrestleMania of the summer. At least that's what it used to be billed as. It was, it's part of the big four of the WWE back when it was the WWF. It consisted of WrestleMania, Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, and SummerSlam. Those were the big four pay-per-views at the time. And SummerSlam normally was a setup for what was to come. It was like the storylines that were fizzling out from the previous WrestleMania, and new storylines were kind of in its infancy stages, if you will, for the upcoming year's WrestleMania. And so that's normally where it used to go. Well, often, not a lot of times, but often. And this year we have some storylines, a couple that are leftovers from this year's WrestleMania. Cody with the Bloodline, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. There are a couple, but for the most part, these are kind of fresh rivals that that we're getting matches from. But it's all good because, to be honest with you, when you sit back and think about it, they're all good storylines. There have been some really good storytelling that has transpired in the last few months under Triple H's leadership, I will say, in WWE, and it really got me interested in all of these matches. Now, I'm not super excited for all of them, but I want to see all of them, if that makes any sense. We have seven matches on this card, and not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but six of the seven matches are championship matches. Yes, basically every belt is on the line at SummerSlam, Slam, with the exception of I think the tag team titles. They're not the tag teams. Actually, this card does not have a tag team match. I think this is a first in a long time. No tag team match for a premium live event, let alone SummerSlam. That is odd to me. But every other championship will be on the line, and the one match that isn't a championship match has champions involved, or former champions, I should say. You have CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins as the guest referee. So there's a lot of championship pedigree in that match. And so these are some really interesting matches, all seven of them. So you see my dilemma. Let's run them down. And we're going to run down how they all came to be and give my predictions on the outcome of said matches. So to talk about these matches, we have to go all the way back to May. That's how long that these storylines have been going on, maybe even longer in some instances. But let's go back to May, when Triple H announced that the winners of both the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring tournaments will receive a match for a world championship at SummerSlam. And so at King and Queen of the Ring, which took place in Saudi Arabia, Gunther won the men's tournament and Nia Jax won the female tournament, thus earning championship matches at SummerSlam, which means that Gunther will take on Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. This match, I think, is going to be one of those matches that's sneaky good, but it's not really sneaky good because going in is going to be good. But with the Gunther factor, Gunther has not had a bad match ever. I don't think I ever watched a bad match with Gunther. It doesn't matter the size of his opponent, the style of his opponent. It doesn't matter. He is truly the ring general. He can have a match with anybody and make them look good while making himself look amazing at the same time. Damian Priest, Damian Priest has shown that he is a champion. When he got the belt at WrestleMania, I was kind of skeptical. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little like Damian Priest, and I like Damian Priest. But as the World Heavyweight Championship, Heavyweight Champion, if I can get it out, I didn't really picture him as that. Even when he was walking around with the briefcase for all that time, I still like, you know. But I have been humbled. I really have enjoyed his run as the World Heavyweight Champion. All botches aside, with the what took place at the last Premium Live event when he didn't kick out, and there's a lot of speculation as to it was a work or a shoot, and he forgot to kick out or whatever the case may be. I don't know what happened. It was messed up. Was it the referee fault? I don't know. It is what it is. You know, all wrestlers have that moment. They have brain farts. It's common. It's normal. We do it in our daily lives. So I'm not gonna rag on a man for that one mistake. I don't see him winning this match. I don't see him retaining this championship for a couple of reasons. One, if you pay attention to how read the room here, what's going on between Damian Priest and the rest of Judgment Day, it seems like Judgment Day is on the brink of exploding or imploding and breaking up in the midst of it. You have Finn Balor, who is real close to Gunther in real life, let alone in the ring and whatnot, and him giving those mixed signals that like he's ready to take the belt off of Damian Priest. If anything, if Damian Priest win, I think the only reason he will win is for Finn Balor to be the one to take the belt off of him. But other than that, everything else points to Gunther, which in pro wrestling speak means Damian Priest will probably win. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that Gunther is going to come out victorious in this match. So that is my prediction in the World Heavyweight Championship match between the champion Damian Priest and his challenger Gunther. Gunther will beat Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. When it comes to the WWE Women's Championship, which is currently held by Bayley, she will defend that championship against the Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. Bayley will win this match. I really don't have much to say about it. I know they've been teasing the Tiffany Stratton interference of it all, as far as her cashing in her Money in the Bank championship, but Money in the Bank briefcase for the championship. I don't think she's going to do that either. I think Bayley will walk out the champion, retaining that championship. Now, I think it's going to be some shenanigans in the match, but as far as Nia Jax coming out victorious, I don't think so. If anything, Tiffany Stratton will probably cost Nia Jax the championship, indirectly or by accident or something. That she goes to hit Bayley with the briefcase and actually hits Nia Jax or whatever the case may be. Those are the type of shenanigans I'm talking about. But I don't see Nia Jax winning the championship right now. Every time they put the belt on Nia Jax, it hasn't worked out. And I'm a fan. Even when she was hurting people, I still like Nia Jax. I don't know why. It's just something about her that I like. She's just that irresistible force, I guess you can say. But she would not be forceful enough at SummerSlam when Bayley will retain her women's championship. Moving on to another women's championship, the Women's World Championship to be exact. This will have to go back all the way to 2023. This match has been in the making since 2023. This is when Rhea Ripley calls Liv Morgan the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. The two were scheduled for a match, and the match never happened because Rhea Ripley attacked Liv Morgan with a steel chair. And this injured Liv Morgan's shoulder, and it took her out for a few months, if you remember. So Morgan made her return at the 2024 Royal Rumble just this past January, and since then she's been on this revenge tour, and her goal has been the Women's World Championship. Not only that championship, but to take it from Rhea Ripley, who was the current champion at the time. And so just a couple of months ago in April, was it May or April? I think it was April. April, on Raw, Liv Morgan attacked Rhea Ripley in backstage and legitimately injured her shoulder, right arm rather, and forced her to vacate the championship. And so stage one of Liv Morgan's revenge plot was in motion. And so over the next few weeks, Liv Morgan went on this just tear. And then at the King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia, Liv Morgan won the Women's World Championship by defeating Becky Lynch when she was with the company. That was Becky Lynch's last match, I think. Or was it the night after? Either way, it was either her last or her second to last. I can't remember right now. But she became the Women's World Champion. And that was with some interference from Dirty Dom himself during the match that cost Becky Lynch the match. And so that set up that little nugget to kind of stick the knife and twist it a little bit to Rhea Ripley, who's at home nursing her injured arm. So now Liv Morgan has become kind of obsessed with Dominic and starts seducing Dominic, believing that he did this intentionally as far as helping her win the match. Well, not only that match, but a couple of other matches as well. And so, but he wasn't doing it on purpose, allegedly. Members of the Judgment Day was getting involved, trying to separate the two and all this here. And then we had a big moment. The big moment happened in July on Raw when Dominic and Liv Morgan teamed up to face his father, Rey Mysterio, and Zelina Vega. They won the match, and the two celebrated, and this was Dominic's first win over Rey Mysterio. This is the first time he beat his dad. And so Dominic almost gave in. He almost gave in and kissed Liv Morgan. Oh, but we got the surprise return of returns when Rhea Ripley came back and Liv Morgan ran off and Rhea Ripley confronted Dom. And so the next week on Raw, Rhea Ripley called out Liv and challenged her to a match at SummerSlam for the championship. She came out and she accepted. So here we are. And this is I didn't think I wanted to see this match because Rhea Ripley is a beast. I don't care if you talking women wrestling or male wrestling, whatever it is, Rhea Ripley is one of the best. One of the best. She is the total package. And I'm not talking Lex Luger. She is the total package, and she would wipe the floor with Liv Morgan in, in any other situation. But for some strange reason, I think this is gonna be one of the bangers of the night. I think this is gonna be a really good match, and Liv Morgan will retain the championship. I think she will win. Not straight up, because the caveat is my prediction is Dominic is going to turn on Rhea Ripley, which plays into this Judgment Day imploding storyline as well. And so I think that's going to be the kind of shock and awe of the night when Dominic, which it probably won't be a shock to a lot of us. I think we can see the writing on the wall that that's how that's going to turn. But when it happens, I think it's going to be a juggernaut. I think it's going to be the stuff of legends. So that's my predictions. In the women's world championship match, the champion Liv Morgan will retain when she defeats Rhea Ripley. That's my prediction. With interference by Dominic Mysterio. That's what I think is going to happen in that match. Our next match, which normally would be the main event, which it could be, I don't know. I don't know the orders of the match, but this is pretty much my level of excitement of matches that I'm giving. But we got the undisputed WWE Championship match here, and this is can we still call it undisputed? That's something that's really bugging me. I don't know why, because how is it undisputed and you have a world heavyweight champion? It doesn't make sense to me. But whatever the case may be, Cody Rhodes is our WWE champion, and he will defend that championship against Solo Sikoa of the Bloodline, the de facto tribal chief of the Bloodline. And this is a match that is, of course, fueled from a storyline with Cody taking on the Bloodline when Roman Reigns was the tribal chief and going up against The Rock and all this other good stuff. And so this has been going on since Cody has returned to WWE with the Bloodline. And to be honest with you, as much as I love the Bloodline since its inception, 4 years ago, I'm getting kind of wore down with it. It's a little bit, because where are we going with it? You know, that's my big question. Where are we going with it? Especially with the new additions of Jacob Fatu, the Tonga brothers. I mean, and then allegedly there's more to come. I mean, this is really going to be the Samoan world, Samoan World Wrestling Entertainment. I don't know. I'm not mad at it because I love them all, but they're taking over. This is truly a takeover, an invasion, if you will, of the Bloodline. But in any event, we witnessed at WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes defeated Roman Reigns in a Bloodlines rule match to win the undisputed WWE Championship, despite the Bloodline's efforts to prevent this from happening. Following that premium live event, Roman Reigns, The Rock, they kind of took a break. Well, we knew The Rock was gone. You know, he had movies to make, but Roman Reigns took a step back, and he needed a break. Roman Reigns has been holding it down for 4 years. 4 years, man, and really been carrying this company on his back. He's truly the needle mover, and he deserved a much needed break, vacation, some R&R. I don't know what he did for these last few months, but he needed it. But in any event, Solo Sikoa became the acting leader of the Bloodline, and he kicked out Jimmy Uso out of the group. He added the Tongas, as I said before. He added Jacob Fatu, as I said before. Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman, he got kicked out. got power bomb through a table, because he refused to acknowledge Solo Sikoa as the new tribal chief. And so we fast forward to Money in the Bank. Just this past premium live event, the Bloodline defeated Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a 6-man tag team match, which was awesome. But Solo Sikoa pinned the champion. He pinned Cody Rhodes in that match. So the next week on SmackDown, the Bloodline is bragging on how they beat Rhodes. Rhodes come out and said, look, I know you want this championship. I accept the challenge. And so that's how the match came to bleed. And then the Bloodline attacked them and, and so on and so forth. But in any event, that's how this match came to be for the undisputed WWE Heavyweight Championship. We have the champion Cody Rhodes taking on the Tribal Chief, Solo Sikoa. This match, surprisingly, is a tough one to call. I don't know which way to go with this. I don't see them putting the belt on Solo Sikoa. It just doesn't add up to me in my head doing that. Solo being the one to take the belt off of Cody, but stranger things have happened. We live in a world where Jinder Mahal became WWE champion, and so anything's possible. But I just don't see it. And then I have a strange feeling we're going to get a big return in this match. I think possibly. I'm not banking on it because I don't want to set myself up for failure, but Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman coming back and causing something. I don't know, will they continue on with the Bloodline for the tribal chiefhood or whatever, or will they help Cody against this Bloodline? Will Roman Reigns come back with a new Bloodline and try to jettison this new fresh Bloodline with Solo and the Tongas and Jacob Fatu? I mean, there's a lot going on there, which is interesting within itself, but why have the championship involved in all of this? That's the head scratcher. So I don't know, but my prediction is Cody Rhodes retaining the undisputed WWE championship. I just don't see any other option there, which will probably be the one to shock me at the end of that night. But we'll see. And we'll also see if Roman Reigns returns. I don't know. This will be his return. If it's any time for him to come back, it'll be SummerSlam. I don't see him coming back for any other pay-per-view, or premium live event other than SummerSlam or WrestleMania, or maybe the Royal Rumble. That's it. No, him just coming back on SmackDown, or him coming back for one of these jibby pay-per-views or premium live events. There I go again. I don't see it, but hey, we shall see. Yes, I have Cody Rhodes retaining in that match. We move on to the United States Championship, where we have Logan Paul putting up the United States Championship against L.A. Knight. Yeah. And this is a match that is long overdue. This match should have been happened, but whatever, for months, LA Knight has been trying to get this match with Logan. I mean, months. I think we can go back to, was it Royal Rumble? Maybe? Man, I don't know. I'm blanking. But in any event, it feels like forever. He's been trying to get this match for the United States Championship. And before we get to the lead up of this match, the fact that LA Knight does not have a scrap, the fact that he hasn't had one since he's been in WWE is a crime. I'm like, This dude is one of the most over guys in the company. Right now, I think it's starting to die down. And that's the sad part. When it was at its peak, that's when they should have hit it. But, you know, they waited. But he's still over. It's not like he's, been relegated to a jobber or something. But no, he's still over. But he's not as over as he was. But during Money in the Bank, during this qualifier match on SmackDown, LA Knight actually pinned Logan Paul. And so that's what really got the fire started on the stove there. And so LA Knight was unsuccessful with the Money in the Bank ladder match itself, but that following week on SmackDown, he made an important note of how he pinned Logan Paul to be in that match. So Logan Paul, well, he challenged Logan Paul, and Logan Paul accepted. The contract signing was held, and the match was made official for the champion, Logan Paul, in his native Cleveland, by the way. He's the hometown boy who's probably going to be booed, but he's the hometown boy and the champion, putting that championship on the line against L.A. Knight. And I think finally we're going to get a new WWE United States champion when L.A. Knight defeats Logan Paul for that championship. Because at this point, what are we doing with Logan Paul? Honestly, where are we going with this? How long are we going to play this game? It's time. It's time to take it off him. And LA Knight is the perfect person for that. So we move on from the United States Championship to the Intercontinental Championship when the champion, Sami Zayn, defends his Intercontinental Championship against Braun Breaker. This all began, well, they had a match at Money in the Bank, which was a really good match. Really good match. Sami Zayn won, of course. And I think a lot of the feeling surrounding that match is they should have put Braun over. I think that they should have, Braun Breaker should have won that match. And I think WWE realized that. He should have won the Intercontinental Championship. Everybody loves Sami Zayn. I love Sami Zayn. But Braun Breaker is he's it. He's it. It's time to scrap a rocket to his back. This slow build stuff is no need. He has it. With his uncles, with his dad. The Steiner brothers. It's in his blood. NXT. He did everything you can do in NXT. He learned the craft. He mastered the craft. He has all the intangibles and more. He got to the main roster and even turned it up another level, which I didn't think was possible. Yes, it's time. And Sami Zayn, as much as I love him, on his best day and on Braun's worst day, Braun should beat him. Handily. Braun Breaker, I like the feud with him and what's his name? Ivan Dragunov. Good feud, but it's all intertwined in this little feud, along with poor Ricochet, who's no longer there. But that was a nice little back and forth with all of them involved. But yeah, I want Braun Breaker to win, and that's my prediction. Braun Breaker will become the new Intercontinental Champion when he defeats Sami Zayn. Yeah, not much to speak on there. I just want him to win. So we move on to what I feel should be the main event. What I feel should be the match of the night. And once again, long-term storytelling. This goes back to Survivor Series of last year in November. We're almost a year removed from that, when we got the returns of returns. That was the moment when hell literally froze over when CM Punk returned to WWE. A moment that I knew, I mean, and I had a feeling he was coming back, but I called myself a liar because I knew it wasn't possible. Those bridges weren't burnt. They were detonated. They were obliterated. They were turned to ash, those bridges between CM Punk and the WWE. There was no return from that. And to hear that music, to hear In Living Color blast at the end of that premium live event and CM Punk walk out. Walk out and it was just amazing. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. I've never experienced anything like that. One of the best moments from WWE in the past, I don't know, 10 years, 10, 15 years. I can't put it into words. And this is coming from somebody who isn't a mega CM Punk fan. I like CM Punk. I enjoy CM Punk. I love his promos. I'm just not the biggest CM Punk fan. I never understood the obsession that people have with him. He's cool, but I just didn't understand the obsession. But I felt it that night. I really did. I felt it. And so with his return, this caused a lot of anger. And we all saw the videos. We all saw the social media posts and stuff like that. This angered two people in particular. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. They were hot and they made it known. They did not like CM Punk. They made it known. They didn't want CM Punk back. They made it known and to his face. To the point Rollins, they began a little feud. This was initially going to be the match at WrestleMania. It was for the heavyweight championship. It was going to be Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Well, before we got to that, we had to get through the Royal Rumble. So CM Punk entered the Royal Rumble. He enters the match. He's looking good. Drew McIntyre, he enters the Royal Rumble. They go at it, and CM Punk legitimately tore his right tricep. Just tore it. And there was speculation, and they've hinted to when Drew McIntyre did the Future Shock DDT on him, it tore his tricep. And so even with that, CM Punk did eliminate Drew McIntyre out the match and finished that match with a torn tricep, which was pretty awesome. And so following all this, Drew McIntyre, he won the Elimination Chamber match, and he earned the right to face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And while he was doing that, well, at least after he did that, he began to mock CM Punk over his injury. So CM Punk, he was appointed special commentary or special guest commentary for the World Heavyweight Championship match between Rollins and McIntyre at WrestleMania. And so he didn't get involved with the match. Drew McIntyre won the title. He won. But this is where it gets gangster. After the match, Drew McIntyre continued to gloat in front of CM Punk. So CM Punk attacked Drew McIntyre, and this is when Damian Priest ran in and cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and beat Drew McIntyre, which means that Drew McIntyre was only the champion for 6 minutes. And so CM Punk would return again to cost Drew McIntyre the title at Clash of the Castle in Drew McIntyre's native Scotland. And so at Money in the Bank, when Drew McIntyre cashed in the Money in the Bank contract that he had just won, CM Punk interfered yet again and cost Drew McIntyre the title, but it also cost Seth Rollins the title as well. And so, with all that being said, this would ultimately lead to a match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, who was just medically cleared from his tricep injury, and it is scheduled for SummerSlam. So they appointed Seth freaking Rollins as the special guest referee to kind of add a little flavor to this, which is the only way to go. It's smart play. It was smart. And this is the match. I am so excited for this match. If you can't tell, this has been in the making forever. And Drew McIntyre, once again, another superstar who I didn't know he could take it to another level. He took it to another level with this CM Punk thing. I love this Drew McIntyre. I love it. CM Punk, whether you love him, hate him, can't stand him, whatever, he can't be denied on the mic. He's one of the best promos in the business, hands down. Drew McIntyre can go bar for bar with CM Punk. CM Punk, man, it is amazing how these dudes are going at it with one another on social media, on in the ring with the microphone in their hand. It doesn't matter. Drew McIntyre taking pictures with Jack Perry. If you know the story behind that, that is epic. This is just so. I mean, it feels real. Now, I don't know if it's a work or a shoot, but they are working together and they're making it. They're making it work. But you can't tell me that Drew McIntyre does not hate CM Punk, because he is leaning fully onto that without effort. Either he's a marvelous actor or he truly does hate CM Punk. This is great stuff, man. As far as the match, I think at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre will come out victorious. And the reason Drew McIntyre will win this match, A, is the Seth freaking Rollins factor. I think he's going to get involved in some way. Of course, he's the special guest referee. He's not just there to count. He's going to be there to interfere in some shape, form, or fashion. B, Drew McIntyre needs this win. He has been screwed over by CM Punk for all this year. It's the entirety of 2024. CM Punk has ruled him. And so he needs a win. And this is the big win. Secondly, thirdly, CM Punk doesn't need this. He doesn't need the win. Because if he loses, and if he loses on the funny style because of Seth Rollins, that shifts over to that. That feud switches over there, which will be another epic feud going forward. So this is a win-win no matter what. No matter how you look at it, this is a win. But ultimately, I believe Drew McIntyre will get the win in this match. And so, just to recap my predictions for this year's SummerSlam, taking place in Cleveland, Ohio, August the 3rd on Peacock, the singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship between the champion, Damian Priest, and Gunther. I have Gunther coming out victorious. The singles match for the WWE Women's Championship, where the champion Bayley will defend against Nia Jax. I have Bayley retaining that championship. The singles match for the Women's World Championship between the champion Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. I have Liv Morgan retaining that championship. The singles match for the undisputed WWE Championship, the champion Cody Rhodes defends against Solo Sikoa. I have Cody Rhodes retaining his championship as well. the singles match for the WWE United States Championship, where the champion Logan Paul defends against LA Knight. LA Knight, will become the champion. The singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, where the champion Sami Zayn defends against Braun Breaker. I have Braun Breaker becoming the new Intercontinental Champion. And the singles match, where Seth freaking Rollins will be the special guest referee between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre will come out victorious. I would love to know your predictions of these 7 matches for this year's SummerSlam. This is a really good card. I'm excited, man. I don't see a bad match here. I don't see a bathroom break match. I really don't. The only one closest to a bathroom break match would be Bayley versus Nia Jax. That's the only one, because I don't think much is going to happen in that match. I think it's just going to be whatever. But all the rest of it. But I still think it's going to be some fun involved in that match with Tiffany Stratton lurking around the ring. But all of them seem interesting, and all of them have the makings of being a slobber knocker, as JR would say. I would like to know your predictions. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also leave your predictions on social media. Just look for this show, the KB Radio Network. Also on YouTube, the KB Radio Network channel. Go ahead and subscribe and like this video if you don't mind. Also, don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to Faces and Heels here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this preview of WWE SummerSlam Cleveland. Oh boy, can't wait to speak to you after the premium live event when we give our recap and review of SummerSlam. It's going to be a fun weekend. Until then, y'all be good and enjoy the show.